So this is going to be a little bit different from the others because this is not a home chef. But this is me cooking, so there we are at that. Okay, a friend of mine that I work with named Angela Bennett is allergic to chocolate, which is a very tragic existence as far as I'm concerned. So I've been promising for months that I was going to make her some peanut butter chocolate chip cookies, and I never got around to it. So now I'm getting around to it. So here we go. All right. My recipe calls for peanut butter, shortening, sugar, brown sugar, half a cup of water, Bisquick, and peanut butter bits. And this should make about 4 dozen cookies. We'll see if it really does make that many cookies. Alright, so first of all, I have 1 cup of peanut butter. I was kind of hoping I could go for a double recipe, but I don't have that much peanut butter, and my father's going to absolutely kill me if I use all of his peanut butter in this recipe because he likes his peanut butter sandwiches, and he will get grumpy otherwise. So I will have to buy some more peanut butter so that I can make more peanut butter cookies, but we'll see how this goes since this is my first time of ever making these cookies. All right, my next thing is I have to have 1/4 of a cup of shortening. So I have my 1/4 of a cup here. And I'm going to get another spatula or rubber scraper. Different people call them different things. My mom always called them spatulas, but it has been pointed out to me that spatulas are generally referred to the things you flip your hamburger over with, and that I am incorrect in calling them spatulas. So, my rubber scraper. All right, so here's 1/4 of a cup of shortening. All right, now it calls for 1/2 a cup of granulated sugar. So I got my 1/2 cup here. Smush out some of the... I don't know how sugar manages to get these little nodules, but they do. All right, so 1/2 a cup of sugar, and then 1/2 a cup of brown sugar, which is now fighting me there. All right, and I said packet, so all right, so packed. All right, so and now my water. Now, these are supposed to be mixed thoroughly. Hang on, let me see. Oh, and the 2 cups of baking of Bisquick. Almost overlooked that one. All right, so 2 cups Since we don't use a lot of Bisquick, I only got me a small box of it. That should be sufficient onto the day. All right, so now mix in. These need to be mixed, and then I will add my other thing. So now it says to mix in my bag of chips. Now, in the case of the original, it was supposed to be chocolate chips. But as I said, since I'm making this for a person who can't eat chocolate, that would be rude, you know? Not to mention dangerous to her health. So I am mixing in the peanut butter chips. There we go. Clean off my blades here. Now, to start my oven, I'm going to stick this in the refrigerator so it chills a little bit so I can make it into balls. All right, so while I'm waiting for my oven to get to 400, I'm going to be making my cookies. Now, I use actually medical gloves because I find that it doesn't stick as bad to the gloves as it would to my hands, and also then my hands all get kind of gooey and gummy and you know. And I've got 4 pans here lined with non-stick tin foil because I don't like my cookies to stick. I like to be able to slide them out. And so I am. It says 2 inches apart. Not, as usual, not positive on the whole whether I'm far enough apart or not, but also I have a feeling that they probably wanted me to have smaller balls, but I tend to like bigger balls. In cookies, that is, in cookies. I can't speak to anything else since I've never experienced anything else. So, moving right along from that interesting little topic, these are actually mixing pretty well. And then I will smush them out with a fork, making a crosshatch. And making them pretty. I once asked my mom why we did that to peanut butter cookies, and she's like, because it makes them look pretty. And I'm like, well, couldn't we squish them with a different design? And she's like, well, yes, but it's traditional, and God help us if we go against tradition. So smush that way, smush that way. And it's basically just a smushing act at this point. So I'm using my cool little fork. This came with a pizza kit. Why one needs a pizza kit, I don't know, but it came with a pizza kit. So I have found that it works nicely for things like this, for smushing out the cookies and making them look good, sort of. So it made 3.5 dozen, which is okay, probably because I'm putting more dough into the cookies than they think should be put in them. But that will still give cookies for her and cookies for us, because there's no way my father's not going to have some of these cookies, because he likes peanut butter cookies too. And now my oven is done, and so it is time to stick these little puppies in the oven and bake them. The other reason I love gloves, I pull the little suckers off and my fingers are no longer sticky. It makes life so much easier. So now we just need to wait the 10 minutes until the cookies are done. So in preparation for my cookies, I've got my cooling sheets here, and this is where I'll cool them. And then I'll put them in this, the ones we're keeping in this one, and the ones I'm giving her, I'll put in this one. So this should hold plenty of cookies for her, so she has something to munch. And she won't be left out of the cookies situation. Alright, so there they are. I'm hoping that they're done. They look done, but they also are very, very soft, so they're going to have to cool a little bit before they can be munched. And then I will tell you how they taste. I will also give them to my dad and let you know how he thinks they taste. Alright, for getting my cookies off, I tend to use the gentle scooching measure with my little spatula here, because I find if I try to pick it up like that, I generally end up breaking them. And sometimes they scooch better than other times, and sometimes they fall to pieces. So now these guys will cool while I'm waiting on the others to cook, and then they should be ready to be put in on a plate. That was a little bit of cookie that just kind of jumped to its death. I figured it was the least I could do for it was munch it. Alright, these cookies got a little bit browner, like a lot more brown than they should have. I just had a young lady come to the door. Her quote-unquote friends had dropped her off at the stoplight, and she lives 2 miles down the road near QB Sykes, and they just decided, oh, you can walk the rest. So anyway, she stopped at our house to see if anyone could give her a ride, and so I gave her a ride. And while I was giving her a ride, my cookie timer went off, and my cookies are a little bit more brown than I really intended them to be. So, but we'll see what they taste like. The other ones tasted pretty good, except for being a little soft, so I made up for it this time, and they are a little hard. Hey, what can I say? We'll see how the next batch goes. Alright, batch number 3 is looking much better. It's browner around the edges without looking like I took a flame torch to it. So this one should be good. And I should get cookies out of this to give to Angela. So, yay! Alright, so there are my cookies. I'll take them to work with me tomorrow and give them to Angela. and hopefully she will like them. At least I know I won't be causing her any allergic reactions. So later this evening, I will be making my third home chef meal for this week, and I will upload it when I am done.